Welcome to the OVAReact podcast in a society that puts women in a box.
Let's overreact. It's your girl, Angela Wamboy.
And it's your girl, Lash Angela. And today we have a special guest. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Loise.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Thank you.
Loise.
Thank you.
Welcome. And of course, to all of our overreactors, whether this is your first time with us or whether you're rejoining us, we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. There's a lot that's going to be learned on this episode. But if you've missed any of the previous episodes, we invite you to follow us across our social media platforms. And that's at Sister Speaks Global, where you can also find our podcast on Apple and Spotify. Also, you can catch us at the Overreact Podcast on Instagram. And of course, at Capital FM Kenya across YouTube. All right.
Yes.
And we have a special feature every last Wednesday of the month where we join forces with the Fuse right here at Capital FM. It is called the Overreact Hour from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with Anne Waura, where we talk all things women. And of course, we celebrate amazing female artists from across the globe.
Exciting stuff, exciting stuff. And if you do follow at Sister 6254 and you don't already, then you might have missed this information. We have a capacity building pillar that we're building in order to help women entrepreneurs. It's called SESA, which stands for Sisters Entrepreneur Society Academy. And it's an opportunity to ensure that if you're doing business and you've been able to generate business, we want to get you to be better at generating revenue. And we have Loise here, Loise Macharia, who will help us steer the conversation of today. She represents Wild International, and we'll be having conversations around navigating entrepreneurship and how do we get you as an entrepreneur to the money. Wild International is actually one of our facilitating partners and collaborative partners for the Academy. And she's actually going to be the one running the session around business canvas model. So if you don't know what that is, continue staying tuned and we'll be talking about it. But before we start, tell us how you feel out of 10.
I'd say a 9.
A 9? Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I'm speaking business. You're talking business. I love
Yes,
business.
so we're talking
she's in her
money.
element.
Yes. Money. What's the one unique fact about you that people don't know?
I think pretty good at so many things.
Yes.
From a young age, I could just try new things and I'm like, oh, I can actually do this. I try something else. Oh, I can actually do that too.
Okay, girl.
Yeah, it's unique fact, but at the same time, it can also be a negative thing because then I got to a place where I got so confused. Like, okay, so what do I do?
Yes.
In all these things that I am capable of doing, but which one do I choose?
Which is your favorite?
What I'm doing currently.
Yeah.
Business.
I love it. Before we get into it, I know you, for you to enter, you've predominantly focused on SMEs and startup and growth businesses. But before we get into what you do exactly, what's like your personal mission? Why did you find yourself in this path?
So I'd say for me, first, I was thinking economic empowerment. I was always thinking money, right? I was in spaces where we would have several projects, but I'm like, how are we supposed to think about this when I'm on survival mode, right?
Yes.
And
Every Kenyan right
exactly,
now.
we are on survival mode. So I like what you're saying. It's good.
Yes.
But I am just not able to think about that right now. I need food on my table. I have bills to pay.
Yeah.
And so when I was thinking about that journey, I was like, yeah, good. So you can either go professional or you could get into business.
Yes.
Yeah, white collar jobs. It's not easy for everyone to just get into it. So it's like, why don't we create platforms where young people are able to get these opportunities from, countless SMEs. If we can make better business, then this means that we have more opportunity for the upcoming generation. And so my mind immediately just set to that. Let's make better business,
Yes.
And it was, I can either just do it directly, help other entrepreneurs. And then when I got to working with other entrepreneurs, I was like, oh, yeah, this
is the space.
This is it. Yeah. So let's just make better businesses. Let's create more opportunities for people. Create platforms.
It's true because all these like corporates, all these businesses that we know and people who aspire when you're studying, you say, oh, I want to work. I don't want to say the names, but I want to work for X group, and they all started as a small business and over time through
Exactly.
resilience. Okay,
I love
exciting.
that. And I like how you said, let's make better business.
Yes.
So there's a statistic by the African Development Bank that says about 80% of early stage startups end up failing. And this is due to a number of reasons, but mostly due to lack of access for funding. And also, we could also say like there's lack of formal business training in a lot of these scenarios. So before you joined Wild, you were with the KCB Business Club and also Strathmore Business School. And these are some of the gaps that you help them address.
Yes. So what we are doing with this specific institutions is they would bring entrepreneurs together, and I'd be there as an expert to just guide these entrepreneurs to just make their businesses better in different capacities. Every entrepreneur is at a different level.
Yes.
You know. Yeah. So
That's true.
the interactions with this institution has been around the different entrepreneurs that they are bringing together, the communities, the business communities that they have built over time. Yeah. So with that, I have met a lot of entrepreneurs and I've come to understand that the goal and the dreams of every entrepreneur is different, right? You might think that you're pushing an entrepreneur to, be this big business, make $1 million plus,
Yes.
go unicorn, all these words that you can
Yeah,
throw out,
yeah.
But I've met entrepreneurs who are like, Loise, for me, I just want to know that I'm able to put food on the table, take care of my kids,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah,
and
the
so
basics.
even when I am meeting these entrepreneurs, I'm very cognizant of what exactly they are working towards. Yeah, and say, if this is the goal, then how do we just make it better for you at where you are and where you want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patricia Okello is really big on also like amplifying small businesses, because not everybody actually wants to.
Growing businesses.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
it's not small.
Oh, yes,
They
sorry,
want to
growing businesses.
Yeah.
But like not everybody necessarily aspires to have multiple
No.
businesses in different countries. Some people are just actually okay with consistency and constant, like a constant generation of
Exactly.
revenue.
Exactly.
Through with Wild and through what we want to do with CESA, let's first actually break it down. What's a business canvas model?
So a business model is an outline of the value you're going to provide to your clients and how you're going to do it. And add the third one to it, how are you going to generate revenue?
What makes a business canvas model successful, like in terms of articulating that? What are some of the things you find with the businesses that have created one, they're missing? What are some of the things they tend to forget or omit?
Number one, value. The lack of clarity in your value proposition. So,
Okay.
say in Kenya, if you see a business is successful, you just rightfully want to hop into it and just do it.
Yeah.
Without understanding what exactly is the problem you're solving,
Yeah.
right? What value are you going to be providing into the market, right? And the other would be, how am I going to generate revenue?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we just do a brick and mortar and wait for the clients? Do we just open an online shop and stick to it and say, yeah, we're going to get clients?
Yes.
That's really what will make people fail.
Yes.
And a business model really, it's all about the first principles of business. Yeah.
So it's about like frameworks, like operational efficiency, tools.
You see, the first principles of business have like three things. You have, do you have demand for whatever it is
Yes.
you're offering?
Oh my God, yeah. Because some
Right.
people do the other way
Research,
around.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
decide, sorry, just to add to that, whenever you go outside of Nairobi, you will find hardware.
All right next to each other.
Yeah. It happens. And sometimes it's not a bad thing, because if you all know this is the area for hardwares,
Yes, then you have options. But then now
you have options. But then the thing is, when you're going back now to what you're saying, demand. Do you
Yes.
have actual demand? And what is demand
Yes.
really? It's are people, are there people out there having these problems constantly and are looking for solutions?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you do not have demand, then why even in that business? It might as well be a hobby, Yeah. And the second thing then it becomes, how are you going to meet those demands?
Yeah.
What exactly are the services or the products that I'm offering, to put out there to meet this demand, right? Yeah. And then you can get into other things, which again is very important. How am I going to really generate revenue from this? What is my client acquisition? Something that is often overlooked when it comes to the business model is the client acquisition plan. How am I going to get these clients? You see, in the business model, there's somewhere that, says, who are your customers?
Yes.
Right? And people just write, I'm in apparel, I sell women clothing, and I sell to every woman. No, you don't.
So there's no target. So once you've helped these businesses build their framework and kind of streamline their operations, like through your experience, is there any success story, any client that just really was like an affirmation of like, this is why I do what I do? To transform lives.
Quite a number. That first reminds me of the first time I started doing this, which was, I think I had just completed my uni, my undergrad in tech, apparently. And then digital marketing was, the conversation out there, you should be in digital marketing. And so I went, did a certification in digital marketing, got into the internet, learned a lot. And I was working at some place in monitoring and evaluation at a company that I won't name.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I got an opportunity to join a program because I used to sit in monitoring and evaluation. So I'm evaluating and I'm monitoring what these programs are doing with entrepreneurs. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, I need to be in the field. I don't want to be monitoring and I don't want to be evaluating these projects because I'm looking at these entrepreneurs, I'm looking at what it is they are doing, and I'm like, I would have told them, this is what I would have told them to do, right? And so a wonderful woman, I love ladies, wonderful woman gave me an opportunity. Her name is Penina.
Okay.
Gave me an opportunity to join a program that was looking to work with entrepreneurs and just enlighten them on digital marketing.
Okay.
And I had just done it. And so started working with different entrepreneurs on the digital marketing just to access markets. And it was amazing just seeing these businesses get onto, the platforms and make actual money. That for me was the first sign. I was like, I want to see more of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Amazing.
And it's good that you gave an example of a woman. So for those who don't know, what actually inspired Sesa is a few years ago during COVID, we came to the understanding, or rather, the term gender lens investing. So for those who don't understand it, it came alive, I think, through like BLM, Black Lives Matter, all this discussion about where are Black people in business, etc. And so then the study was showing that also when it comes to when it comes to business, they're quite lower. And so let me read some stats. So some stats say that African startups get just 0.3% of global early stage capital. And then in terms of gender lens investing, they say it went from 1% to 2% during the BLM. So which then means now if I use the African part and use the female part, it just means then that women are fighting for 0.06% of global funding. So where are we going wrong? So this just highlights that there's a double issue and double disparity. And there are women, honestly, there are women who have really great businesses. Let's even just discuss Kenya alone. Even outside of the city, they have really, really good businesses, but they are not... either they don't know how to access funding, they're not ready to get loans. And so the key thing about Sesa was like to analyze what's the issue? Is it that they're not connected? Is it that they are doing the business, but they are operating as a bedroom business, right? A briefcase business. Or is it that they're not doing their books right? So there's so many like factors. So with what you do and what we're trying to do, like within Wild, how are you, with the current programs that exist, how do you help businesses, like what you've just said, position themselves, especially let's say if Penina was interested in scaling up, in getting even a loan. It doesn't always have to be an investor, because I think there's also this idea that everyone seeks investment, but maybe actually when you look at what it is that you're trying to do, maybe a loan might be a better option. Even just understanding, how do you work with businesses from like startup to growth level? Because not to say that a startup or growth level business can't get financial loan or can't. So maybe share with us.
Okay, even before I could answer that question, interestingly enough, when I work with couples who are doing business together, most of the time, it's the lady, it's the woman who has the vision, to be honest.
Yes.
She's like, we should go let's go this direction.
That's how it is with my parents. My mom is a vision creator, and my dad is like the accountant. He's the numbers guy.
Let's get the numbers right. And I at first when I saw that, I was like, okay, it just bypassed me. Then I saw it the second time, the third time, the fourth time. I was like, okay, there's something here. And with that, I met very powerful, women in their own businesses.
Okay, that's a good fact to know.
Yeah, and which I find very interesting, and I just love that. Yeah, and then on to your question. At Wild, if you're looking for funding, whether it's in, grant, loan, whatever it is, there's an understanding of, what is it that you want this capital for, right? Because the biggest mistake is you bring in capital and mismanage it or put it in the wrong, or invest it in the wrong place in business, then, you just go all wrong, right?
Okay.
So
that's
first
true.
is understanding where are you as a business, and how at Wild we do it. We help you just get the business right, so that this is where I need capital, this is where I need support in the funding or some form of investment, and this is the right time to do it, because there's also the factor of time. So helping the business know, and this happens to a lot of entrepreneurs when you think this is the point, I just need funding to get this business up. But majority of the times, it's not about the money. It's about getting the business right and say, this is where we are at the moment. Let's work on this. Let's hold on, before you can get into this investment. Just a balance of all those things. And the most critical bit of it is actually remaining objective. So at Wild, we help the business remain objective. When an entrepreneur starts a business, and I've seen it a lot of time, it can be very
it's my baby.
Yes, I want to do this. I don't want to hear anything else. I just want to, to get this business running a certain way. But, we bring that perspective, the objectiveness, it's someone could have, you could have the passion, which is great, but sometimes could distract from the bigger picture.
Yes.
So we help bring in that objectivity, and above all, we walk with you that journey, where we say, we are not going to tell you, okay, let's do this. This is perhaps the right thing to do, and then leave you, right? We want to work with you and say, okay, this is where we are right now. Yeah. So the next thing maybe we need to do is let's find a market before you can even invest in your stock. You don't need to have maybe 1 million, in inventory. And you've not figured the market.
Because you know what people forget? Like if it's an investor, he probably wants an ROI. If it's a loan, you're going to have to pay that money back. So I hear you need to have that plan of how you're going to retain first the money to pay that back, but also more so that you can do more with the profit sales. Makes sense.
Exactly.
As
Yeah.
anyone in business, you're constantly evolving all the time.
are.
And, Wild's partnership and joining forces with CESA is a really integral part to the masterclass program. And so you're going to be facilitating the business Canva model, the business canvas model session, like Lush mentioned. So tell us, why is this important for any entrepreneur to have this skill? And more so for our overreactors out there, for potential entrepreneurs, maybe just give them a teaser of what to expect during your session.
See, one thing people believe is that business fails because of capital, money, but majority of the times, business is failing at the business model. You start wrong.
The foundation.
The foundation, and the business model is the foundation of how you will do every other thing. Majority of the times, people just start wrong.
Yeah. The roots.
The roots.
They are rotten.
And that is why you need to be in that session. Yeah, because you need to, again, like I said, find an objective way of evaluating your business, which, again, it's something that most entrepreneurs don't do. Just going back and asking ourselves, does this business model still work?
Yeah.
It has worked for us the past year. Will it take us to where we want to go in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
And that always comes, or rather boils down back to the business model. Yeah. Let's figure out the basics before we can, go to these other things. I always say, getting a nice office, a nice shop, having the best decor in it, those are just flowers.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why you find there are businesses that are just operating even without a shop, without you're like, how is that small hardware shop, making money?
Yeah.
How is that person, looking flashy and all that?
Yeah.
It is just a small hardware. Because this person just got the basics right.
Yes.
And that is what business is. Majority of the times I see someone say, maybe I'm going to start a business, and immediately they're looking for a stall.
Yeah.
They're finding, how am I going to make this place pretty? But those are just secondary issues.
Honestly, pomp and color. I think because we live in this world where people are really about their aesthetics.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you need to bring food to the table. In essentially, with everything that you're doing, trying to make money to bring food to the table or bring more food to the table. Maybe you're already bringing food, need more money. And it's true. I think a lot of people focus on the aesthetics of how things look and peer pressure. Right? Say, I do clothes, you do clothes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no. I need to have a shop. I need to do this. And you do all this.
To looking the look, but not really walking the
I
walk.
want to look like an entrepreneur. But are
Yes.
you really?
Yeah. And then you forget, like, for instance, with, before we do rapid fire and wrap it up, is people forget you get a space. You have rent. If it's a shop, you have to pay the person that's running it. If it's a shop, most likely, especially like if it's in CBD, you have to pay the electricity. So that payment that you're paying of like 25K, it's not factoring water, it's not factoring electricity. And then now manpower. You haven't sold a product.
You
So many
haven't. You're opening and then waiting. Now let me get a client.
Now let's get a client.
So
we're going backwards about it, huh?
exactly. So you
Yes.
started with the secondary issues.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you need to be very honest with yourself. You don't want to just look like an entrepreneur, have people view you a certain way.
Yes.
Yet, the bottom line is not working.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
that is what I think majority of the session will be about. Let's focus on the real issues. And even as we are speaking, you have discovered this is the problem I'm solving. Yeah. So this is how I'm going to solve this problem. That is the other thing that people don't answer correctly. How are you really solving this problem? Are you like, when you look at it, very openly, are you really solving for that problem, or are you just bringing in products? Because again, you meet someone who the services they're offering or the products they're offering is solving a different problem from what they are saying they are solving for.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. There's something I learned from a business program I did is a lot of us actually don't do research on the road. That we don't go on the ground, as they say in Kiswahili, between different kwa ground, right? So then there's this assumption to 80% of Kenyans need this.
What you think and what you know.
Yes.
And so then you go and buy. How many people have you heard? They said, "Oh, I thought that everybody's gonna." Let's talk about fascinators. Oh, everyone's gonna need a fascinator. So you order thousands from China,
Yes.
and then you're like, "There's no market."
Put a price tag of 1,000 bob there.
Yes, yeah, or even more.
Or even more.
Because in your mind you're like, yes, I have 80%. Yeah, it's only 10% who can even afford, and the things like those you're
And
only
that's
buying
a good
once.
point. The ability to pay,
Yes.
and the willingness,
Yes.
to pay.
Yes.
See, so those are the questions we'll be asking in the business model. It's not filling a canvas there.
Yeah. Yes.
It's more of asking, is this what whatever I'm saying here as the service I am providing?
Yes.
Yeah. Are people willing?
Yes.
Are people able
Yes.
to pay?
Yeah.
For us to say this is a great business model. Let's test it and then let's scale it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so true. Wow.
Very good
I'm
questions.
so excited. You guys better follow at Sister Speaks 254 www.sisterspeaksglobal.org to learn about how you can sign up. Some quick questions that people might want to know about your idea of business. So what's the one thing you wish startups and growth stage businesses should get in the habit of doing? Maybe you've just answered it, but I don't know.
Startups, yes. Testing.
Test
Testing.
your product.
You just don't know for sure. And nobody can say, just because another company made it work doesn't necessarily mean that you'll also succeed. Doesn't necessarily mean that whatever you started with, and I have seen a lot of businesses do this, where you start with one business but quickly pivot to something different.
And maybe you should have stuck to that and let
maybe you
it
should have
grow.
exactly. Or what I call the traders. Traders make a lot of money because they'll invest in this business and then quickly move to another business without thinking, okay, so what will happen? What is the vision of this one business? How do we
So
actually...
it starts struggling because it's just like, okay, we're making money there. Let's move to the next.
Yes, let's just move to the next thing. So you want to test out, even for an existing business, if you already say you're in a product business and you have several products that you have and you're bringing, you want to test that first.
Yeah.
Before,
Start with small, like 50.
Yeah, so test as much as possible until you get the formula right.
like that.
Oh, wow.
And the formula does not cut across everyone. We might be in the same business,
Yes.
but our formulas are different.
Yeah.
Our attention or our playing field is totally different, but it's essentially the same business.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's an underrated skill for a founder? The founders that you've worked with, what's one underrated skill you found?
I'd say building a team. Building a team. Whether that means employing someone, whether that means people in your network. You want to just build upon your networks internally and externally as well. You don't want to assume that you know everything, right? You, again, don't want to do everything.
Yes.
Because then you'll get caught, 10 years still doing the same thing and never growing.
Yeah.
So building on a network internally, meaning who are these people that you're leaving certain duties and tasks to? Are they doing it as you would, or perhaps are they even better? And then externally, who are you consulting?
Yes.
Who you don't want to just live in your own bubble, to be honest. There is a lot of information out there. And I think even my mom once told me, knowledge is with people, good things are with people out here. You just have to find your tribe, your own tribe.
Yes, and the ones that you can work with.
Exactly.
What's the one best piece of advice you can give to somebody who is probably listening, considering joining CESA, and they're in full-time business, or they have like a side hustle? Like, what's the tip that you can give them to maybe either make that jump if it's making sense, that is?
I think first things first, ask yourself, what is it? Why am I even doing this? The why is very important. Just ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I really want? Yeah. And then, between all that whatever your answer is, then, you can make the decision then, do I want to grow the business? Then this is the right session for you. Do I want to just have my business stable?
Yes.
As it is, then that's good. Do I want to scale? Do I want to expand?
Yes.
Yeah. And for what reason? Why do I want to expand? Why do I even want to continue doing this business in the first place? Why did I even get? In fact, it should be a task before you get into the session.
Yes.
You should ask yourself, why am I in this business? Why am I doing this?
Yes.
Because that mindset will help you during the session.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the business model, unless, we do the one-on-one sittings where we have a business on an individual level and we help them think through.
Yes.
In such a session, you want to be open. Whatever concept is being brought out, and as you're thinking about it, you want to have clarity even in yourself. So that is something you want to prepare even prior.
Yeah.
I like that aspect, being able to internally talk
Yes.
to yourself and then also talk about the business. That's great.
Because once you know your why, you know how to tolerate your how.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Oh, I look forward to having you. Thank you for
Loise.
being a part of what we're trying to create.
Thank you too. Thank you. Thank you.
And for anyone that wants to find out more about Wild or what you do as a facilitator, how can they find you?
So we do have our website, wildinternational.com. We are also on the socials as Wild International. You can also find me on LinkedIn as Loise Macharia.
Yeah.
Or on email, loise@wildinternational.com.
Yay.
Lovely.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I always wanted to just speak about business.
Oh, yeah, and you did so great. She was nervous, guys. Did she look nervous? Leave a comment down below and say, no, you did not look nervous. I'm telling you to do that.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. Thank you for being here. I feel, reinvigorated and really excited to, have you be one of the facilitators for SESA. So with that said, we want to give a special shout out to Lockwood Furniture, who has provided this beautiful set. And of course, make sure that you follow us across our social media platforms at Sister Speaks 254, at OVAReact Podcast. And of course, you can catch these episodes on Capital FM platform at Capital FM Kenya YouTube. And every single Wednesday at 10 p.m., you can catch us live on 98.4, your best mix of music.
Yes, and if you also want to listen to us at primetime hour, so between 10 to 11 every last Wednesday of the month, we join Anmora on the Fuse, and OVAReact hour is full-fledged there. And we also change up the show for 1 hour where we also just get entertainment from and celebrate female artists all around the world. So all you need to know is Sister Speaks Sister Speaks Global is the place to come and join and follow, and Capital FM is the place to come, join and follow and continue overreacting with us. And we're always grateful to have you guys and hear your comments. So yes, so we're going to do this thing where we get you to overreact to us.
Okay.
So all you'll do is overreact with us. All right, are you ready? Okay. Go on, do you want to start, yo?
All right. So ladies, let's
Overreact.